Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing my nails, getting rid of this Pop Mart set, which I have a video on. I'll link that up in the cards now. But look at those pearls flying up. It's like almost like a jump scare. Lots of the time they fly up like right into the camera and I feel like they're coming from my eyeballs. At the time when I was filing these off, they probably were coming from my eyeballs. But anyway, so we are getting started by removing this set. I'm using my Erica's ATA T-Rex bit because it's a bit more coarse, so I could get through those pearls. The pearls I coat in a hard gel, so they're really on there. So honestly, because they're kind of like a more soft resiny vibe, it's easier just to file them off than to try and like remove them, and I find it doesn't do any harm to my e-file bits. So I'm going to go ahead and do with those. You do have to be careful though. Like I said, they really fling off there and they get hot from the friction of like being filed off. So make sure when you're removing stuff like this, especially, you have glasses on or some sort of protective goggle. When I do nails now, I wear my glasses every day. I used to wear my contact lenses, but just for my eye's sake. I got a lot of nail dust in my eye, so I like to protect them now. Now I'm going in and just doing some prep work, pushing back my cuticles gently. I say this all the time. This is 3.5 times sped up, so it looks like I'm really just stabbing them, but I'm not, I promise. Then I'm going in with my Erica's ATA nib bit. I love this bit. I've also really started getting into filing off all the crunchy bits of skin, which I'm doing right now, which is, I don't know, A, so satisfying I think to do, but B, obviously feels great after because it's nice and smooth. But specifically that skin just right there around like the edge of your finger. My mom gets really hard skin around there. And so I told her, like, in the meantime, when she's not coming to see me, she can always take a little file and lightly buff it away or smooth it out, you know, so it's a little bit softer. And she says she's been doing that like crazy. The other day I called her and I was like, oh, what are you up to? She's like, oh, filing my crunchy skin. And I was like, okay. So that's really nice. Anyways, I've left all this bit in because I don't know, I find it satisfying. This is my favorite e-file bit to use, the nib bit, because it really lifts up the skin and then is obviously great for exfoliation as well. So I very much enjoy it. Today I was placing an order online and for some reason my mind just stopped working. I thought I was ordering a bunch of nib bits and then I placed an order for a bunch of tapered bits. So I contacted the company right after and I was like, I've made a mistake. Help me. I haven't heard back from them. I'm hoping that they'll cancel that part of my order because the other bits are ones I just do not use. So now I'm using my cuticle nippers. I'm going around and getting rid of any dead skin. Going up the sidewalls for any little hangnail bits. And then just removing the dead tissue. You can kind of see it's like the lifted, you see on the next finger, see that? It's like lifted, it's like kind of white, dried up bits. That's just what I'm removing. I'm not snipping any dead skin. I do like to leave a bit of a buffer because your cuticles really are there for a reason. They're there for infection protection, essentially, for your fingers. So I don't like to remove too much. Like, I just like to remove the dead stuff, you know? Get rid of the dead stuff. And now we're going in with the violin. I'm going back to a soft square shape. I did that one set in like a rounded shape, but you know, I've been loving a soft square. So I'm taking the length all the way down. I've also been loving keeping my nails really short, which, do you remember? My nails were so long for a bit. I had used, when would it have been? I don't know. Maybe last year around Christmas time. I used the canoe tips, the Diana canoe tips, and I just kept filling those and filling those and filling those until eventually my nails were that long. It was nuts. I had those pink star nails. I think I actually had the video on like the gray zebra nails, which I like loved. I'll link that in the cards. And my natural nails were like they were aggressive. They were like a long in like nail tip world. Anyways, but I've been loving them short, so that's where we're at. And now I'm going in with my sanding band. I'm on speed 1 on my e-file. And just gently going around gently going around the natural nail just to lightly buff it up. And then I up my e-file to about a 5. And I go over the gel that's remaining on my nails because I do have a layer of builder gel on my nails. And I just like to smooth everything out before I get into the next application because sometimes you do get kind of like teethy marks from the e-file bit that you're using for your product removal previously. So I'm just kind of smoothing everything out, going side to side. You want to be careful that you don't do a little around the world and your bit goes all the way around the finger. And then give everything a good wipe, dust and a wipe with alcohol. And then going in with my, what is it? Oh god, Gracia? I can never remember. G Jelly Base, which I really like. I bought this, I got it from Sweetie Nail Supply, which you can use 10%, or which you can use code Rebecca for 10% off of your Sweetie Nail Supply orders, where I get the majority of my products. I got it from Sweetie because I saw a bunch of people start talking about it and how it was like such a long-lasting base. And oftentimes, I mean, I have no issues on my nails with base coats. I don't know, my nails just like nail product, so I don't often get lifting or anything like that, but so far everyone I've tried it on has lasted really well as well. But yeah, everyone raves about it being a really, really long-lasting base product, so going with everyone else. This is the Izemi Resin 99.9 in the quick version, so it's just like a little builder. I'm basically just like backfilling what I've got going on. My nails had quite a bit of gel on them still, so I don't need to like, you can kind of see they're pretty thick. I don't need to do too much working the product down the nails more, so just a backfill. And making my apex. I love Izemi products though, they're so shiny and glossy. I swear, every time I do a base on the client and we just do clear, they like pull their hands in, they're like, we can even leave it just like this. We never do, because everyone's an art addict, but you could, if you felt like being a simple girl. Now I'm going around and just using my little brush to fix anything up, so when I file, which is what I'm doing now, it's a little bit easier. I'm going with my Diami 150 grit file. And I'm just refining the shape. So I'm going up and down the sidewalls, making sure everything's straight, going over the top, kind of making sure my apex is looking good, keeping down some of that thickness. They're still gonna be thick because I also am heavy-handed, so we need a little bit of thickness, but getting rid of some of the bulk. You definitely want to make sure your sidewalls and your cuticle area are flush as you can get them. And then you want to make sure kind of you can see I'm checking like from every side. I'm very quickly at this sped up pace, checking from every side as I'm filing through, but I won't bore you with filing through, but now I'm attacking my nails with the buffer. This is just a 180 grit buffer, and I'm just smoothing everything out. And this is a great way to get around your cuticle and sidewalls as well. Make sure it's all smooth. This is the Izemi Neo base in the low viscosity. I love this base for kind of this portion of application. It's a very thin base, so I love it for kind of applying after I do a bit of buffing and filing to smooth everything out. And I also love it for capping and airbrush. I use it all the time for capping and airbrush. So that's awesome as well. And I like to flash cure, especially when I'm working on myself, because I'm slow. I can work on clients way faster than I can work on myself. But yes, I'm constantly flash curing just to make sure everything's locked and loaded, and then by the time I make it to the last finger, I give everything a big solid cure. And then we start with the glitter. So this is the Show Me Flash Gel. I'm using flash gels today. That's the big exciting feature. If you don't know what a flash gel is, it is a glitter gel like this, where when you hit it with a flash, like when you're taking photos or whatever, shining lights on it, it glows. Like it's 3M. And this is the DVOK one. I'm obsessed with this color. It is so pretty. I want to apply it to everybody and their mother. Anyways, flash gel. Yeah, it lights up like it's 3M. It's honestly so cool. Like who and where did they think about this? Like which scientist was like, you know what? 3M in gel. What do you think? I think it was a great idea. That's what I think. So I'm going around. I'm literally flashing all of these gels in between because I don't like when glitter shifts and gets all bulky on the sides. This is me showing you that I'm doing a second coat. This is a real quick, snappy shot. Second coat on all of them. Looking gorgeous. And now we're moving in with the art. Going in with the Jello Zigzag Gel in black. I freaking love the zigzag gel for 3D work. Spectacular. It's in a tube, so it's easy to apply. You can flash cure it. It cures all the way through, so you don't have to worry about like not curing, especially with black. Black is really, really tricky. I find in a lot of 3D products, black, like I have a clay in black, and it literally just doesn't cure. Just does not. It's very frustrating. This, no problems. She's perfect. She's gorgeous. And she also finishes with a non-wipe surface, so you can put chrome on her. How delightful. I have the Jello Zigzag Gel in, I want to say 14 colors. So if you want 3D nails from me, please ask for them. A lot of 3D gel in my studio. I'm going in with the D-Gel X Ginny Painting Gel, which is a beautiful thicker gel for painting detail work. I'm painting a little art, and I'm doing a spiral. I'm using my Sissy Micro Liner brush. This is the 10mm side, which is, it's quite thin, which I like for doing detailed stuff, and it's long enough where you still get I mean, it's not super long, it's 10mm, but you get a bit of absorption of your shaky hands, which I certainly have. The 20mm side on the other side of the brush definitely absorbs a lot more shake, so if you've had a lot of coffee, I recommend a long brush. This I probably filmed at the end of the day, so I was probably too exhausted to be shaking at full force. I love a spiral now though, look at that. So cute. What is it about a spiral? I just can't get enough. If someone's coming in for a mystery mini soon, I think they're gonna get spirals. And I'm just going in and touching things up before I cure. Perfect. Now, this is the way, I don't know why I'm doing this way. I never go in with my hard gel in a tube like that and just spray it all over the nail. And then, but that's what I did. And now I'm brushing it over to kind of smooth it out, because I'm going to lay down some of these silver beads. Usually, I would just like place a dollop and place a dollop and place the charm on top. But I don't know, it worked. They stayed on, for sure, because it was hard gel. But now I'm just going around, I'm using my little picker upper tool and grabbing a lot of these little silver beads and sticking them on, just in random places. The only thing is I love the eensy tiny size of these. So I basically have none left, because I use them so often. Like, these come in a mixed bag of all the different sizes. I use them so often that I've used them all up. And so it's real bare bones in terms of sizing here. I gotta use mostly the big ones. And I'm gonna cure that. And then I'm going in with my, what's the brand again? Yoga? I think it's Yoga. Yogo 3D gel. I want to call it Silky Beam. I believe that's what it's called. It's like this beautiful iridescent, shifty 3D gel. I love it. So I'm just putting what looks like a chicken breast on my nail with that, and using silicone tools that I bought that are made for clay, and just patting it out. And then I'm going to place this heart crystal. So I just added a dollop of hard gel under the edge because I wanted it to be like overlapping off the side, but I didn't want to have no support, because this big blob of 3D gel is actually great for sticking charms into, which I am going to do, and it will hold them in tight. But because of the lack of gel on the side, that's why I put that one down, the hard gel. You all are smart people, I know you get it. So I just stuck a bunch of those charms in, and I stuck my hand in the lamp. And we're going for round 2 on the thumb. Another big dollop of the gel. Squishing it down. I've also just noticed that my microphone battery is dead. Or basically, and I'm afraid that this is gonna die. And what's gonna happen with this voice recording? I suppose there's only one way to find out, if it comes to that. I'm nervous though. Okay. Doing the exact same thing, bit of hard gel down the side, sticking that crystal in, And then you can just continue to finesse the shape of the blob because it's not curing until you tell it to cure. And you put in the light. And sticking more of my little silver beads in there. And popped her in the light. And now, one very important step. I talked about this a million times before, but whenever I'm using a bead like this or a pearl, something that's a little bit softer and the finish can wear off, I always do a dollop of hard gel on top, and this will protect the finish. This is super important if you want your charms and stuff to be long lasting in appearance, because I mean pearls can stay on all day long, but eventually they get worn down and just look like little white dots. So highly recommend throwing some hard gel on top. It does make them very hard to get off though, like I mentioned earlier, you know. I'm just filing around the edge. I do this whenever I use glitter because sometimes little glitter bits like to be pokey and scratch people, so get rid of those. And then I'm using the Jinbei Crazy Top in Standard. This is it in a jar, or in a bottle. I prefer it actually in a jar and used with a brush. I find that there's less bubbles in it. But there was only one way to figure that out, and that was it, me buying it also in the bottle. And I will be a jar girl moving forward. Just applying a thin coat to all of these nails. And flash carrying, of course. And there we have it. Here's the finished nails. This is with the flash off, and this is with the flash on. So you can see what I mean with the flash off. These were also my Beyonce nails, so I hope Beyonce could see them from the stage all the way up to the nosebleeds. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.